Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to lessons 10.1 and 10.2. So today we're doing two lessons, but they go hand in hand and it's extremely easy. And I'm more than sure that you've done this in 5th grade. It's just to review and make sure that you don't forget this material. So for lesson 10.1, we're talking about mean. Mean is basically the average, all right? And then for lesson 10.2, we're talking about the median, mode, and the range. Now the median is basically the middle value of a data set, and then the mode is basically the value that occurs the most often, that appears the most often in a data set. And then the range is the difference between the greatest and the least value. So on the worksheet itself, 10.1 is just going to be about mean. And then worksheet 10.2 is talking about the median, mode, and range. So just pay attention to the instructions because it's a double-sided worksheet. And I don't want you to do the lecture the way I'm teaching it for every single problem. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of work. But the way I'm teaching you, let's say that we have this problem over here. So we're talking about to determine the mean, median, mode, and range. So I'm basically doing all the steps for one problem. But on the instructions, 10.1 will be just the mean. And then 10.2 will be the median, mode, and range. Okay? So let me just focus you a little bit more, get you a little bit closer. So here we go. So it says determine the mean, median, mode, and range, and we're talking about Plano temperatures. We're talking about them in Fahrenheit degrees, okay? So the values that you have are 88, 81, 86, 87, 85, 83, 80, 81, and 85, okay? So for the mean, remember, it's kind of like when you're trying to find the average of your test. If you take two tests, you add them up and then divide by 2. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different temperatures. So to find the mean, the first thing I need to do is I need to add up all the degrees. So I'm going to put 88 plus 81 plus 86 plus 87 plus 85 plus 83 plus 80 plus 81 plus 85. Okay? So and I'm actually going to move these numbers over a little bit so I can have enough room for my answer. So the last two numbers after 80, 81 plus 85. When I add all of them up, my total temperature, and this is for 9 days, is 756 degrees. So 756, and I'm going to do divide by the total number of days, which is 9. So when I go ahead and divide the sum of all the degrees, which is 756, and I'm going to divide it by 9, my final answer will be 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't forget the degree Fahrenheit because we're talking about degrees. Don't forget your monkeys and birds. Now the median, you're basically arranging all the data set in chronological order from the least to the greatest, and then you determine what is the middle value of the entire data set. So if I arrange it from least to greatest, I get 80, and actually so I can squeeze all of them in because there are quite a few data pieces. I get 80, then 81, then another 81, and then 83, and I've got two 85s, and then the last values are 86, 87, and 88. So before I determine my middle value, I better count and make sure that I put all the data set on there. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I do. And another way, obviously, that you can do it, guys, the original data set that you have, the minute I put 80, you can cross 80 out. The minute you put the two 81s, cross the 81s out. So that's another way so you don't forget something, okay? So then, since I have 9 values, right? 9 divided by 2 is 4.5, okay? That means 4.5. So this is one way to figure out the middle value. So since it's 4.5, that means the fifth number in the line is going to be my median. Another way to do that is basically take out on each opposite end, take out two data sets, one on each end, then start squeezing in or moving in and take another set of data sets, and so on and so forth till you get to that middle value. Up to you how you want to do it, but for me the easy way is I have 9 values. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. I round it up to the fifth because 4.5 is approximately 5. That means the fifth value is my median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My median is 85 degrees. And don't forget that it's Fahrenheit. Now, some of the questions that you might be asked, compare the median and the mean. Well, in this case, if we're comparing it, the median is greater than the mean or the average. But just, listen to the questions. The next question that you're being asked, what is the mode? And remember, the mode is the number that appears the most often. And when we look at it, we have 2 sets of 81, okay? A pair of 81s and a pair of 85s. So it could be that the data has 1, 2, or more modes, and it could also be to where it has no modes. If no number is repeated more than the other, then it's a no mode. So in this case, 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is the mode. Okay, the last part of the problem is what is the range? The range is the difference between the greatest and the least value. The minute you have your data set organized and ready to go for the median, then it's organized and you don't have to go back to the data set and figure out what's the greatest and the least value. In the median, it's already arranged for you. The greatest value is 88, the least value is 80, so it's just 88 minus 80, which is 8 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is the gist of the lesson. So let's go ahead and try another one, just to practice it. How is it that you can see it? And you can use this obviously in everyday life. I mean, you can have just data set of numbers and figure out the values, but you can apply it to daily life as well. So here we go. The next question is basically, let's say that you have a job babysitting, and these are the babysitting earnings. And here we go. So the babysitting earnings were $16. Then we have $32. Then we have $29. Then $18. Then another $32. And the final value is 35. So this is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say that we're talking about 6 weeks. This is what the person earns or what you could earn as a babysitter, right? So remember, we said about the mean, we go ahead and add up all the values. So 16 plus 32 plus 29 plus 18 plus 32 plus 35. You add them all up, and the total money earned is $162. So all of these equal to 162. Now remember, how many values do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So divide by 6. And when you take 162, you divide it by 6, you should get $27. So what does $27 mean? It basically means on the average for 6 weeks you earn $27. Okay? Now the median. The median, go ahead, remember you cannot get the median unless if the data set is arranged from least to greatest. So the least value is 16, the next value is 18, then after that you have 29, 32, and then again 32, and the greatest value on this data set was 35. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just make sure that you always have the same number of data values, that you don't lose control of one. So now remember that in the previous one I had 9 data values. 9 divided by 2 was 4.5, and I went to the fifth. In this case, I have 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So when I have an entire value, of course, obviously you can work from the outside in, but another way as an advanced student, you should know, okay, I have 6 data values. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Well, when I don't have to round up, that means in this case that the third and the fourth value, the number lies in between both of those. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. That means the first, second, third, and fourth, the value in between 29 and 32 is my median. So first thing I need to do is take 29 plus 32 and then divide by 2. So 29 plus 32 is equal to 61 divided by 2, okay? It equals to $30.50. So the median of money earned is $30.50, okay? Now what about the mode? The mode is always the easiest, right? Because what value appears the most often? I have a set of 22s, a pair of 22s. 32. So my mode, very easy, $32. And then also the range is easy. Once it's organized, right? 35 minus 16, right? 35 minus 16. $35 minus 16 is 19. So it is $19. So there you have it, guys. Remember, lesson 10.1 is the mean, and then lesson 10.2 is the median, mode, and range. Pay attention to the instructions so you don't do more than you need to do. Come to class if you have any questions. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.